fine. We're going to talk about stressed out husbands. Let's recap last week. Last week, basically it's like this. If your husband is unemployed or he's disheartened or he's feeling low and he's going through a tough time, okay, we've all been through that ourselves, okay? If he's going through a tough time, the secret magic formula, and we discussed this extensively next week, and I suggest if you're going through this with your husband that you take a look at that, is to say to your husband, based on the fact that he is trying to make you happy, he's trying to make the children happy, and he is trying to do whatever he can in his communal life or his work life or whatever. He's trying. If he's not trying, needs professional help. But if he's trying and he has the intention of wanting to do that and wanting to help and wanting to make it work, these are the magic secret words that you can tell him. Try if you can. If you remember from last week, if you don't feel it, work on it until you do feel it, or fake it till you make it, one or the other, okay? These are the words you're going to say to your husband. Listen, I can tell you're kind of feeling down about how life's going and what's happening and the circumstances we find ourselves in now. But I want you to know one thing. In the eyes of God himself, and in my eyes, everything is beautiful because you are trying to make me happy and you are succeeding. You're trying to make the kids happy and you're succeeding. You're trying to do what you can for the community and work harder and you're trying. So in the eyes of God, you are a success, not measured by, do we have a gorgeous house? Do I have every dress I want? Not according to the world, not the real world, sorry. That's the fake, phony world. But in spiritual terms, in the highest celestial spheres, you guys can come in and sit down. In the highest celestial spheres, what you are doing and accomplishing in your life makes you a superstar. So I've heard back from a couple of people this week who tried that actually on I think last Wednesday we had a class. I think it was last Wednesday. And they said it was pretty much of a turnaround. I only got reported back from 2 people. So I didn't hear a flood of 20 people who tried it and didn't work. So all I heard was from the 2 people who it did work, that they said that it's just not only how it affected their husband. And I didn't get all the details of how they communicated or whatever, because this was just by email. But not only that, but it just in their own level of satisfaction and
come on in and totally say
you can come
hi
in,
to
come
the
sit.
Guests who
That's
walked
good.
in.
That's good. That's good. Hi guys. Okay.
So all our Facebook people could see you.
See you.
2
Hi.
beautiful just walked in.
Gorgeous. So you're saying that to yours, it has the potential to completely turn the whole situation around. Okay. Remember, we as women. Thank you for your emails, by the way. I see some of you emailed this week, and we got a lot to cover today, thanks to all the beautiful mailbag we've got this week, the stuff we got. Okay, but also is that as women, we have enormous power to either build or tear down. And whatever we can possibly do to build is going to make us closer, is going to give us more joy in life, is going to make us have a better olam haba, a better future, a better life. So that's our power. We learned from our sources last week. I listed them all out last week. You can go review them if you want. Just click below for last week's show. That our job is to bring comfort to our husbands. And we're going to go over that today because I had a fabulous question from a lady over the top, fabulous question. Thank you. Have a seat. Okay. Oh, good to see you. Hi.
Yeah,
you look so chic
back.
with those big
And
sunglasses.
She walks
Hello.
in with a coffee, an iced coffee, mind you. Very nice.
You could have brought for all of us?
Right.
Thank you. All right. Okay. We'll forgive it this time. Okay. So the thing is, our job is to make our husband, is to bring comfort to our husband. And we're going to discuss today ways to do that because we got a great question. Fine. By the way, that's not a little sweet, nice thing we do. Oh, our husband's going through a hard time. We're going to I'm going to do all my stuff, and then I'm going to bring him comfort when I have time. From our sources last week, we see very, very clearly when our husband is struggling and going through financial difficulty or any kind of difficulty, that's our job. That's our job. It's our job. It's not like an extra. does that mean that we put other projects we have on hold to you know what? I think, I was going to get takeout dinner tonight. No, actually, maybe he loves takeout food. I don't know what kind of cook you are, but no, I'm joking. Okay. So the thing is, I don't know what his things are, but if it means stopping to get takeout food and going to grocery shop and putting something off your agenda, and you've been waiting to get your, something's urgent for one of your kids or something, you're like, you know what? Can that wait 1 week? That can. Your husband cannot wait. And this prioritizing our husband, as I have so many reports back from, literally 100 women have said putting their husband as their priority has completely shifted their own happiness. Not just that their husband's happier, okay? That's nice. That's a nice side benefit, wink, wink. But it's their own happiness. Okay, fine. Okay, now we're going to go. The other couple of things I just want to reiterate, because we're going to talk about it a little bit today, but I just want to reiterate this, that when your husband is going through a crisis or a depression or struggling or unemployed and feeling badly about himself, it's not the time to ask him to do menial tasks for you. I get it. You're not only carrying the house, now you're carrying him. I get it. Okay, we've all been there, done that. Okay, so that, they can come around here. Okay, good. Okay, we're doing it.
Yeah, we're great. Hello,
We're great.
I think this topic is bringing in the women.
Right. Packed house.
As long as she came without a coffee, she's good.
Okay, good. If you come late, you have to bring coffee.
Yeah,
for
exactly, for everyone.
The new rule. So don't ask him to do menial things. Is that fair, everybody? No, it is not fair. Is that lovely and wonderful? No, this is bad news, but it's your news. You can turn the entire situation in your house around by comforting him and taking care of him at this time. And that's your fastest way out of it. Your fastest way to have the home that you want is by taking care of him, especially at these times. And other times you can for sure ask your husband to do menial things, okay? And for the most part, work out your logistics. We cover that. We are going to cover it again about divvying up labor and all that kind of stuff. We'll cover that. But you should just know when he's feeling down, sitting there and doing menial things makes him feel lower, makes him feel less than. Okay. All right, fine. Great. Okay, let's go. First before we get into the homework, okay, I'm going to quickly cover the tool of the day from last week. So the tool of the day, I want to get that beautiful picture. That picture you have, oh my gosh, so gorgeous. The purple picture, I should actually keep it
here.
Purple
picture,
the
yeah.
purple picture.
It actually
I like
works.
saying
it.
Purple picture. It matches the whole, look. It's like it's in, But anyway, okay, I forgot to get it. So the purple picture, if you remember last week, the tool we had last week was called the cup of stress, right? So I'm going to review it because I had a lot of email about it saying, can you do a whole thing on stress? We did one about 3 months ago, but I guess stress is like a really thing. So in a couple of weeks, I'm going to redo stress, and we'll go over it again. But I'm just going to cover what we went over, recap, so that you've got a tool to use in your tool belt. So basically, I had that plastic cup. You could see water going in. But basically, we were talking about, here is you, right? And you have stress. I'm going to tighten this, otherwise it's going to pour all over here. You have stress. So we had, this is you poured in, you get a parking ticket. Boom, 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 boom. You get, the maid. The maid doesn't show up for blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah means water pouring. I'm not doing that because sorry.
It's good.
Okay, whatever. Okay. So, yeah, there you go. Good stuff. Let's see, what else? You missed carpool. And they call you your kid's here for 45 extra minutes. That'll be $7,432,000, whatever it is. I don't know if you have charges or whatever. But anyway, I feel for them because, if I was sitting there watching one kid and I want to go home to my own kids, that would be tough. So, but whatever. So you, glub, glub, glub. So now, the way, here you have all these stressors pouring in. And then, you know what I realized I should have done it? Maybe I'll do this in a few weeks when I do this. I should have showed what the water looks like when it pours over. How ick is that? You know what I mean? Like when you just lose it, like you're just so stressed out about everything. One little thing more, one little drop more of stress, and you're like, why did you do that? Right? We get all thing, and we get out of control. We don't have self-mastery. We don't have the ability to take care of those around us. Like we're not even taking care of ourselves. Okay? So what how do we do? What do we do? We just live with that? Okay, well, one more stress. There better not be any stress. Good luck with that. If you figure out how to make no more stress, give me a call. I want to hear about it. Write it in the notes below or whatever. Before and below or whatever. Anyway, okay, so fine. Everyone seems kind of like really quiet. There's a lot of you today, and everyone is like not making. I feel like where's a pin? Let's see really if we can hear. Oh, hi, welcome back. You can probably you're processing. Okay, process, but process like lively. Like let's get some like maybe let's everyone stand up. And
Hello,
do
this
stretching.
is a stressful topic.
Oh, it's a stressful topic. Okay, I get it.
We're all
Siri.
feeling
Okay,
it.
okay,
It's
all
heavy.
right. Well,
It's
okay,
heavy
we'll get
stuff.
lighter. We're going to talk about money. That's what people like that. I mean, how to get money.
Making money. I was
bringing
gonna say,
money
we don't
into your
wanna
home.
talk about
We're going to
money.
get there, right? Okay, so good. Okay, fine. So, fine. Okay, so here's how we get the stress out. I'm just going to review them quickly. One is relax. Does anyone know how to do that? Relax, RELAX. Look it up, Google it. Okay, fine. Take time off, go for a walk, take a nap, listen to music. Learn, this is the most important thing, ladies. Learn what works for you. You know, everyone says, oh, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm like, you know, we had this whole business session. I'm like, I have to put my sneakers on? Really? You know, whatever. Right. So everybody has to learn what works for you. Morning, afternoon, evening, you know, you're stressed right now. You can feel your head's about to pop off, right? Know about yourself that if you go and read some goofy magazine or, you know, you get some book that just tells jokes, like kids' jokes, humor, clean humor, whatever, and you read 10 jokes and they're like, oh, then you close it and you're like, oh, where was I again? Oh, yeah, I was annoyed. You know what I mean? Learn your tricks. Okay, number 2, say no. Just say no to cooking for a friend, arrange stressful phone calls. After a meal, after you're eaten and rested or whatever, learn how to say no. Third one, set boundaries. Sorry, it's after 9 o'clock. I don't take phone calls after 9 o'clock. Whatever it is, set your boundaries. Okay, that was how to get stress out. Now, there's another alternative to make yourself more resilient. That's the big watchword today, you know, resilience. I want resilience. Do you have resilience? Do you have, you know, like that. We're all about resilience. Okay, so how do you get more resilience in your life? By building, oh, I forgot my little prop, whatever,
prop,
my little coffee cup thing that makes this taller, is to make your cup taller so you are more capable of dealing with stress. Awesome. And here's the 3 ways we're going to do it. Number 1, increase your coping skills by stretching yourself, saying, you know, I'm not going to cook for Friday night and Shabbos lunch. I don't do 2 meals. Try it once with 2 guests, you know. If you're sitting there and you're like, oh, you know, she wants me to do, you know, I do this chesed and I go visit people in the hospital once a week. She just asked me, I already did Tuesday and it's Thursday and she's asking me again. Are you crazy? I already did stretch yourself. Try it. You'd be surprised how much you are capable of. Like, you really could surprise yourself. Okay. And then I do have an answer. Someone had emailed me, I don't know, from here, from the Facebook, whatever, about what to do if you just stretch yourself so much and everyone just dumps on you. So we'll get there. 1 second. Okay. Okay. Strengthen your resilience, work at mental recovery and mastery over your time. Pace yourself. That's the way to build up your capacity here. And then educate yourself. Watch role models. Read books. Read organizational tools. Like, it's shocking how much more you can accomplish if you just like had a list. Like, instead of every time you go to the grocery store making a list of what you need, how about making a list first, taking 10 minutes, 20 minutes, make a list of everything you ever buy at the grocery store, and then before you go, circle them. And all you're doing is printing out, circling, instead of writing down, get broccoli. Who knows how to spell broccoli? I mean, like, you have to remember you have to Google it every time you write the list, unless you're not anal retentive like me. Oh, oops, I'm not supposed to say that, whatever. Obsessive compulsive, whatever, that, you know, I have to spell broccoli right, even if it's a list to myself. I'm a writer. What can I tell you? So how do you spell broccoli? BRO.
CCOL.
I feel so belittled.
What?
CC?
1 L, 2 C's.
Well, no, if you're writing it, your hand.
What pressure! I'm
write
not
it
writing
in your
broccoli
phone
anymore.
Right, there you go. But the thing is, if you make a list beforehand, right, then all you're doing is circling it or get yourself an app for it, whatever with it. But they're annoying to check and uncheck. I don't know. I've tried them, you know, and you're checking. And then after you come home, you have to sit there and uncheck for 27 things in order for it to be ready for next time. It does not work for me. They should have a uncheck all. Maybe I'll send an app. That'll never happen. I mean, send a little note to them. That's not happening. Anyway, got to manage your time and set boundaries. But anyway, if you may, how many times can I say enemy?
Yeah.
And anyway, in one
enemies,
sentence.
enemies.
So,
Well, at least you could spell broccoli.
At least. Well, I think I forget already. So, okay, so here's the thing. You have to, by making an organized list, that could increase your capacity for getting your stuff done. Fine. Okay. So here's where I had a student say to me that, listen, Leah, if I make my cup bigger, right, and get stronger, guess what? My family will just dump more on me. They're like, oh, she's going to the hospital twice a week. Now let's try 3 times a week. Oh, she's having guests for both meals. Let's try 3 times. Let's have also let's have third meal. Fine. Not fine. How do you avoid that? Okay. So the issue is not making yourself bigger so that you can do more. It's making yourself bigger so you can cope better with what you're dealing with. So it means that might be saying no more. That's for sure true. But the growing yourself is not so your family can dump on you more. Growing yourself is so that you can have more self resilience. Is this clear? Mm-hmm. Was there any other questions on this? Yeah. Okay. Fine. Okay. Let's go over last week. Leah's secret of the day was the main message is that our job is to bring comfort to our husbands. Number 1, when he's going through a tough time, bring comfort. We read the sources. Chazal tell us we read the sources. It was very, very clear. I think we had 4 sources last week. Very crystal clear. That's what our job is. Okay, let's get to the homework. The homework for the week. Do one thing to bring your husband comfort 1 time this week and come back and report. Okay, who's up? We know.
Please, no, I didn't do it. I failed.
You didn't?
Yeah, no. I realized that if I don't do it on Wednesday after we leave, or maybe Thursday, my memory is like gone, and I forget about it. And when did I remember? This morning. So this morning, as I'm washing my face, I'm thinking, oh, I have to bring him comfort. Okay, I need to say this nice little sentence to him. And I wanted your phrase because I loved how you said it to this woman about, you're everything to me and what really matters, where it really matters. You're my world and you're trying so hard. And blah, blah. I had it all. And I'm washing my face and brushing my teeth and I have it in my head. It's going, and I've got this great dialogue, and I'm thinking how beautifully he's going to react.
But people, listen last week. You'll get some great...
Yeah, no, I had it all. It was beautiful. Okay. In my brain.
Composed.
Beyond. What do you mean? He was like worshiping me. And then I walked out, and he did something, and he annoyed me. That was It literally, he annoyed me. I reacted to his annoyance, to me being annoyed, and then he basically looked at me and he goes, I see it's not a good time to talk to you. He walked out.
Oh, down the drain.
And then I had to go to the class, so that was it.
That was it.
Did not work.
It did not work.
So I do have it in mind, though. I'm going to do it.
By the way, we really need to have our WhatsApp lady post the homework, maybe on it's Wednesday. Wednesday, what day?
What you missed those, right?
No, like
when?
Because that's when you're usually home with your husband.
Sunday? Sunday morning or afternoon or evening?
Afternoon, because
Yes, I might say Shabbos.
Right, when?
Morning,
Shabbos,
Friday,
we're having
whatever.
a big, huge discussion about
Definitely
this.
to remind you because
we need a reminder. So maybe you can put that on your to-do list.
It was really beautiful up in my brain, so.
It was beautiful in your brain. That really did a lot of good for your closeness in your marriage. Okay, let's hear.
Okay,
Good.
so we're planning a little getaway, and he's like trying so hard to make the right tickets, and we have to make arrangements for the kids, and he's stressing out about it. And I just told him, wherever we go, I'm happy as long as we're going together. I don't care where we go. And it's not like me to say that. I'm usually on Monday this day, and on Tuesday there, and on Thursday, and then he's just like, anywhere? I'm well, not anywhere, but exactly that. But
Stunning. That's stunning.
I might
That's
scratch
great.
that, but we'll see.
That's
For the moment,
fantastic.
it was nice.
Anywhere until he takes you
So
anywhere, and you're like,
do you mind if I just ask you a question for a second?
Sure.
What allowed you to shift into that sweet, gorgeous mode?
Because I just want to get away from the kids.
Because you just want to get away from the kids. Period. End of story. But hold on,
She
you can
whispered she wants to get away from her kids.
But hold
I
on a
can say
second.
it, you
Yeah, you have to. You can't. Oh, I see. You're saying it so that I don't know.
Yeah, she's
I don't know.
whispering.
But hold
but
on
the
a
camera's
second.
Not picking it up.
But that wanting to get away from your kids does not translate it into instant sweetness. Wanting to get away from your kids translated into, let's get out of here. I'm sick of my kids. Like there was something in you that allowed you to gift that to your husband, to be that person.
I just felt the thought of being a little bit more free was very relaxing to me. So I felt relaxed in the moment, I guess. Like knowing that in a few days.
Right. What I'm looking for is the tool that you used. I'll tell you why. So you can use it again, and so we can all gain from it. Everybody who's listening and everybody in the room.
I'll tell you, usually I think right in the now. I'm a very spontaneous person, and I like whatever. But I was able to like foresee that soon I'll be like free and comfortable and this and that. So I looked ahead a little bit.
It's using visualizations to project ahead where...
Normally, I'm like very like, I think about how I'm feeling right now. And I get like edgy from that.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I hear that.
So like if
one of
I'm
your
not at a
coping
good
tools,
place...
guys, understand this. By the way, I'm not getting stressed out pouring the water. I'm just thirsty. Okay? just saying. Okay, but hold on a second. But your thing, I have to find a place to do this. I'm going to throw this to you. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Duck.
Okay, so that duck. Okay, so, but hold on a second. That doesn't give us access to it. We need to find a way to understand what I'm looking for. I want access to what. So you're saying your coping tool.
Yeah, because usually if I'm not feeling like 100% myself, I can't give to my husband.
Okay.
But if I feel like okay, I'm gonna be calm, I'm gonna be happy, I'm gonna be calm, or I'm gonna feel fine.
So it's future visualization
Yes, right.
allowed you.
Correct.
Take
Correct.
yourself out of it.
It was going to be amazing. There's going to be no kids around. I
Correct.
don't really care where I am. The fact that she's going to be relaxed, let her be able to give it over to him, because once she's relaxed, she doesn't care what he's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She has
She's
to first
doing
feel...
the middle finger, the commitment, saying there's long term.
Yeah.
Meaning there's not the now. Thank you.
Isn't she
Hello.
awesome? Come on,
By
guys.
the way, I just want to say the reason she did the homework is because she's trying to be A plus student, teacher's pet. Just know that's my place, but
Okay. It's okay. Come.
we'll take it.
Yeah. Hug after class for that beautiful work you did. Okay, fine. Okay, great. Okay, so that was good. Anyone else on the homework? Yeah. Someone's got it on the edge.
You so did it.
Well, physically, my husband had oral surgery this week, so he needed ice, and I brought him ice to comfort his.
He couldn't talk.
That was a good week.
But I was like really super sweet and nice to him this week. He's like all swollen, and he really doesn't feel
So
good.
okay, so you're going to be our guinea pig, and you're going to tell us when you were super nice to him, what happened in the home?
It was actually a very calm week. Like I didn't overstress on other things going on in the house. I really felt sorry for him. And I actually, was it that? I don't know when it was, but I went to the pool too this week. I never did that. Like just to spend an afternoon in the pool for extended period of time.
Wow.
And I was super relaxed and chilled.
Wow.
It was nice.
Wow. So you did self-care?
Yes.
Total.
Yeah, it felt really good.
So what
I
was
don't know
able
what-
was that? So here's the thing: if our husbands aren't having oral surgery, we want to be able to zip into that mode of caretaker, of comforter, of mostly like you said, she was extra focused on taking care of him, and guess what? She went to the pool and sat in the pool. Give me the address later. No, she went to the pool and she took care of herself. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot in this for us. Look, there's the highest madrega. There's a level that you can get to where you're just doing things because you're altruistic and you're wonderful and you're doing it for others or whatever. And then there's a part of us that needs to be motivated by what's in it for me. What do I get out of this? And I'm just telling you right now, this comforting him and putting that as a priority, there's a lot in it for us, as you're explaining. It's very good. It's very good.
Leave him home, but he went to work after his oral surgery, even though he was in a lot of pain.
So when you were in the pool, he wasn't lying in bed like,
I wasn't cruel, but I did,
Glad you
so
pointed
sorry,
that out. I was going to ask you
good.
after, like, hello. Okay, good. We're there. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let's get started, guys. We are going to go now into a very intimate tight, important topic. We're going into the student mailbag, okay? Now, in the mailbag, and please, guys, if you have issues or I say something in a class and you're like, what did she say? Or like, that's a great point. I'm going to try that. How do I do it? If you don't understand something that I explain in this class, do you know for you, there's probably 100 people who also don't understand it. So send me an email, what is it, sorry, www.ladiestalkshow.com.
Info@ladiestalkshow.com.
Info@ladies.com, at ladiestalkshow
Ladiestalkshow.
at gmail.com, whatever.
Info@ladiestalkshow.com. No
info.
Gmail.
Can you type it on the thing? Because I am not.
He's gonna
Info
write it.
but I do. I'm going to learn. I'm going to
ladiestalkshow.com.
memorize how to spell broccoli because I just on principle.
Yeah. Info@ladiestalkshow.com.
Info@ladiestalkshow.com. So, and for you on teleconference, and if you don't have, if you don't have access to that, just to the internet or something, you can go to www.ladiestalkshow.com, or if you have email, you can send it to the one she just said, whatever that happened to have been. So these questions, the mailbag is where we can learn and flesh out, if the stuff that may be troubling you. Okay, so here is something in the mailbag from this week. Also, by the way, I'm going to read this one here. If you are either a student here who wrote it in or somebody online or a teleconference person, and you're the actual human being who wrote this letter to me that I'm going to answer, we would love it if you called our phone number and clarified. Like I might answer a question a little slightly, and you're like, wait, that didn't answer all of it. So our phone number is whatever, it's below, or yeah. Okay. We should write that out. Sarit's looking like very confused.
Yeah.
Is that
I only was looking because it has a different number, I think.
Oh, it has a different number?
I think,
Okay.
yeah.
Wrong number.
I think
Thank
our
you.
callers are on a different line right now.
Oh, how weird. Okay. All right. You work on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm going back to business. Let's talk about our mailbag. Dear Leah, I get it. Our job is to bring comfort to our husbands. So how do I do that without being condescending? Like, oh, you poor baby. That's going to make him feel even more pathetic. Brilliant question, isn't it? Fantastic question. Because it's true. If you come in like, oh, would you like some coffee? Would you like some tea? Like, what? Oh, I'm so pathetic. I'm so unemployed and pathetic that you have to treat me like that. Totally get it. Great question. Okay, so very smart lady. The point here, it's often not what we do, it's how we do it, obviously. But the best rule of thumb is to use trial and error with this. So you all know your husbands a whole lot better than I do, or at all. So you have to try things, and there's some things that'll make them feel condescending too. I have to tell you, my mother-in-law taught me something, which is people never really question a compliment too much. Meaning, if you tell somebody, oh, I love the way your hair looks, and you're like, they're not sitting there saying, it looked the same way last time I saw you. What are you talking about? They'll be like, oh, it does? Really? Oh, thank you. Or you say, boy, you look so relaxed, and like you didn't sleep the night before. You came off a 12-hour overnight red-eye plane. You look so relaxed. Like, people don't. They might say, I'm so tired, but they're gonna feel differently about themselves that you told them they look good. So the first rule, the first trick, technique, tactic, habit to get into is complimenting your husband. If this whole thing about doing comfort and bringing him ice, very nice. Another way to comfort him is to compliment him. And it's very interesting. I'm not quite sure I understand how the world got sort of pulled this way, but it's really a woman's expectation at this day and age is that her husband should compliment her. It's not really the other way around. And yet most men, 99.9% of men, thrive and flourish when they are complimented. And a woman will feel neglected because she's not complimented. And we get into the whole thing about getting yourself appreciated and complimented, whatever. We're going to go over that. But a woman will be so annoyed that she's not complimented, he's not appreciative, and he's not showing her that she'll be resentful. Like, I'm not going to tell him if he's not going to tell me. That's it. But I have news for you. If you want a happy husband and a contented husband, and this will also bring in more money. We're going to get to that question next. This will also bring in more money. Compliment your husband. Find creative ways to compliment him. You see the world half full. Some of us are positive optimists. Some of us are, what are they called? Pessimists or whatever, okay? So if you're an optimist, great. I'm sure you're complimenting. You will find lots of things he does that are wonderful. If you're a pessimist, you have to work at it. So you might need to get yourself a notebook that right at the top, pessimist's notebook, okay? Here are things I am grateful to about my husband. Here are things I'm going to compliment my husband. And lay it on thick. And when he's feeling low, lay it on thicker. Don't be, it has to be genuine from the heart. Work on it being genuine. Work on appreciating him so that when you say it, it's more genuine. Or fake it till you make it. Okay, fine. Okay. Oh, here's another really awesome way to compliment your husband. Compliment him in front of other people. So you're at your mother-in-law's, right? And you're having a tough time. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. I have the best mother-in-law in the world, so I can't really, really. But, I get a lot of questions about mother-in-laws. So you're at your mother-in-law's and whatever, and it's a tough time. Think of something you can compliment your husband about and say something like, like they get a new, something comes from Amazon while you're there and everyone's trying to build it. And you say something like, my husband is awesome in building those things, right? It's a compliment to him, in front of him, and his puffed up greater than anything. You're at a Shabbos dinner, and someone says, I don't know what to do because, da-da-da, and say, you should ask my husband. He's so good in that. In front of your husband. He's so good about that. You should ask him. That is the most gorgeous compliment in the world. Why? Because a man has pride. And this builds up his pride. It builds up his self-esteem, particularly if he's going through a hard time. These little things make a huge difference. Okay. Other ways to bring comfort are to make your husband's favorite meal. These are all some of these obvious, but some of them they might be very obvious, but are we doing them? Right? Okay. Make your husband his favorite meal. Buy their favorite snacks. Leave notes on their pillow. Serve them in little ways. Let them off the hook for their mistakes. Let's hear from you guys. What other things can we do to bring comfort to our husband?
I don't know, because when I hear her question, I hear if her husband's going through a hard time, then all of a sudden she starts leaving notes on the pillow, making his best dinner and all those things. It could also make him feel like, pitying her. So what?
Like pity, like right. I'm deserving of pity.
What came to my mind when you read that question is, it's interesting. Like, I would question how she's really viewing him, because everyone goes through hard times. People lose their job, they're up, they're down. It's just, the way life goes. But that shouldn't be how we value someone's respect and how much we respect them, especially someone who, like your husband, who you got to know deep down inside. So we know each other's, vulnerable things, everything. So you really respect that person because you really get to know them and share everything with them. So if she really would just tap into how much she really should, or know that she respects him as a person, then it wouldn't come out as condescending.
That's interesting. You're saying if she shifts who she is inside,
she has to remember to respect him for the right things, like you said last week. Like say the president ran for a second term and he lost. So you go and you bring him a cup of coffee. It would never concern you to come out condescending and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like now we have no respect for you." Like they've already accomplished so much. You already know how much that person is.
That's a great analogy.
So it's the same thing. Like when she's, when they're going through everything, if she really looks at him like a loser and pitying him and like, oh, when I offer him coffee, he's going to just think because I just look at him like nothing, it's going to come out. But sincerity, if she works on her sincerity and that, of course I still respect, he's still the same person, we're just going through that circumstance now. So I think that would, that honesty would come across.
This is fantastic. Yeah, good. Okay, who else? What else? What other ways to comfort your husband?
I mean, in a case like this, usually husbands just go into their own cave and they want to kind of be like left alone. And we're always like, scratching by the door.
Scratching at the door, let us in.
So
Right,
give them their space.
Give them their space. Yeah.
And it's not, you don't have to take it personally. Like
Wait, I'm going to repeat that. Give them their space, but you don't have to take it personally. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, good. Who else? What else? Come on, ladies. Everybody's counting on you on the cameras. Let's hear. Comfort. You know how to a comfort. Let's hear. Come on.
When you can be intimate with your husband, I think there's a lot of comfort in touch and in being, physically intimate with your husband when he needs comfort, if you can, obviously. During the times when you can, I think it's an important. I think we forget it sometimes. So, just a touch or a hug or,
Got it.
little pat.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, yeah, there's a lot we can do. Okay, I'm not getting any more. I had this whole thing said, ask ladies what they think. I thought everyone would be tripping over themselves to tell me. Come on, you've got something. Yeah, go.
You could divert the mindset and focus on the bracha that you do have in your life. Like if you have a family or you have something that gives you nachas, the kids or, Baruch Hashem, grandchildren, then you try to focus, like, look what we have. It's hard, but look what we have. We have our gems.
Yeah,
We have our health.
That's very good. It's very good. I had a woman, and wait, is this? Hold on, let me just see. Oh yeah, no, that question I'm going to answer next. Oh, I should get to that. My goodness. Okay, yeah, I've got a lot more to cover. Let me just see. All right, no, okay. Let me just go through this. But you just remind me that the amount of, like, if we're seeing the cup half empty, they also see the cup half empty. And if we can shift our mode to seeing it as half full and counting our blessings, whatever. It's so cliche, right? Counting the blessings, like whatever. But it really, when you're feeling like you're the one who is carrying the weight in the house, really more than usual, when you're carrying that weight, we can get down on ourselves. We can start to really, it can wear on us. So again, good self-care. Take the water out. Good self-care. Okay. All right. Let me just go through. Hold on a second. I want to get to the next question because that was part of how to get money. Okay. One lady said, if I dote on him that way, he'll get used to it and I'll be stuck having to treat him like a baby forever. Okay, that's when a woman emailed me. But understand, these tactics are to help our husband to heal from the pain and humiliation of being a unemployed person, a rejected person, whatever failure they've gone through, whatever difficulty they've gone through. Okay. Just as a parent's going to coddle and take care and comfort her kid, but at the same time, expect them to perform. It's kind of like, you're prodding them to greatness. Okay. Other thing is, it's better to, yeah.
I'm going to add to that. I wasn't here last week. So
Yeah,
I don't know
that's okay. No, it's fine.
But you have to, I think you have to really tell your husband that you believe in him and make him believe that. Like, you're with him through this, and it's not only him, and you believe he's going to do better. Like, we're going to get through this. Like,
Did you hear that? So beautiful. We're going to get through this. I believe in you. I trust that everything's going to be okay. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. We did not cover that last week, so thank you. That's beautiful. Okay. The key here is it's better to over comfort and have your husband be feeling like you're, babying him and coddling him and PDing him. It's better to make that mistake of over comforting him than to go even a little bit under of having him feel comforted and taken care of. Okay. If your comforting lasts more than 3 to 6 months with no significant strengthening of your husband's mood, it's probably time to get in professional help. Okay, so I want to get that. Okay, let's get to the next question. Is the main message for that is whatever kindness level you currently are in your life. We all have, some people are super kind, some people are not so much, whatever level you find yourself, bump yourself up a little bit of a notch. That's the message. Okay, fine. Next one. Dear Leah, I've been listening to you for a year and have been working so hard on my marriage. Yay! Yeah. Wait, let's give everybody clap. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you quoted sources last week saying that working on peace will bring parnasa, money, into our marriage for our financial situation, but it has not turned around at all. And I've been working on this for a year. Oops. Sorry, I must have been mistaken. No. Scratch that. No. This is
It's not even funny.
not even funny. This is guaranteed, ladies. Guaranteed. Read my lips. Guaranteed. This is guaranteed. our Torah teaches this, our Masorah teaches this. It is guaranteed if you work on shalom bayis, you will eventually turn things around. Now, here's the first question I have for this lady. The first question is, how do you know it hasn't turned around? Right? Maybe things were on a downward, down, down, down. You're supposed to lose this. That was supposed to happen. That was happening. But because you worked on your shalom bayis, it leveled out, and it went. You know what I'm saying? Who's to say what was supposed to happen and what your work is protecting, what your shalom bayis work has protected you from? We don't know the answer to that question. The jury is still out. That's the first thing. The second thing is that this is one of those things where you got the middle finger, which is long term. We're in this for the long term. And as hard as it is, I can't dole out what Hashem is going to serve to you. Nobody can. You can't. Your husband can't. You can alter the course of history by doing whatever you can to bring peace into your home. So for sure, you can alter the course of history. You may not see that shift. You may not notice the shift. You may not be able to understand that what was supposed to happen was somebody was supposed to get sick and they didn't because of your work on shalom bayis. But we know 100% guaranteed your efforts go somewhere. God is watching. He's keeping very accurate records, and your efforts are going to bear fruit. You just have to keep plugging away. Not easy all the time, but you have to know it's for the good. So here, first of all, I want to say, great job to this woman for working for a year. That's not an easy thing. But also, Rome's not built in a day. You got to stay the course. But my main question is, and this is the question of the day, do you guys want the formula for bringing more money into your home? Oh, you don't? Okay, let's go. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we can end the show.
Hello.
Nobody wants.
What,
No,
there's
we're all
it.
good.
Nobody wants. Okay. The nodding, I'll take the noddings. But if you want that, right down below, right? Okay, fine. I'm going to give you a 3-part formula. It's based on Chazal, based on our Masorah. How do you bring more money into your home? Number 1, never complain about money ever. Never complain. Never be unhappy with your lot verbally. You can I wish we had that house and I wish we this and all of that. Fine. But never to your husband complain. You can feel it, you can do whatever you want with it. Never complain. Need nothing. Be grateful for everything. So I was explaining this to a woman, basically lower your standards, be thrilled with whatever you get, and just wait. Okay? I was explaining this to a woman, and she said, so let me get this straight, Leah, okay? This a couple of days ago. Let me get this straight. So when I ask him for, let's say I say, okay, I need a new coat. I want a new coat. So when he says, no, it's really not in the budget right now, and we're not always asking our husbands for things. I'll get to that in a second. It's not like everything. Oh, can I buy a toothpaste? Whatever. It's not that. But when you're asking him something, let's say it's a $300 coat or something, whatever. It's a significant thing, a chair, a piece of furniture, whatever. So she said, when I ask him for a new coat, that's her example. When he says, no, it's not in the budget right now, you're saying that I shouldn't act disappointed. I should just be, okay, fine. Is that what you're saying? And I said, actually, no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying do not ask for the coat. Do not ask for things you think there is any chance or a high likelihood of him saying no. If you know it's a very big long shot for you to get that coat, you have a coat from last year, okay, it's not the latest one or whatever, and it has a rip in the whole pocket and you've lost your wallet in it, but it's just not in the budget to go spend a $300 winter coat. You live in Iceland, fine. Okay, it's not in the budget. Chances are pretty decent that he's going to say no to that. Maybe you're giving it a shot, like winning the lottery, pulling what are those things called? Slot machine, I hear, but do you realize how your husband feels when he says no to you? Do you realize how devastating and how unmanly and how little and small and pathetic he feels that he has to say no to you. So asking him is pushing him up against a wall and making him do what he hates to do. There is nothing more in the world than he wants in his whole life than to give to you. That's why he was created in the first place. One of the reasons. I asked rabbis. Some people say, yeah, that's why it's created. Others said, no, there's many reasons. And okay, fine. I don't know. I'm not a spiritual, that's a way above my pay scale. I don't know, okay? But I am saying to you very, very clearly, your husband wants to give to you more than almost anything in the whole world. And when he has to say no to you, it crushes him. And you asking is like, taking him down a notch with everything that you ask. And this woman, she goes, oh my gosh, she was silent. And I said, are you still there? Hello, are you still there? And she said, yeah. She said, listen, I grew up in a very well-to-do household. I don't know, I don't know if I can live with that, if I can deal with that. And my husband, a couple of months ago, he said to me, he wants me to go work. He wants me to go out of the house and work. And I married him because, I want to raise my kids. This is kind of like our agreement. Now he's saying, I think you should think about, getting a job and whatever. And I've had it. I'm fit to be tied. How can he make me do that? And I said, listen, if you stop asking him for things and complaining about money, he will be more not so. The reason he says you should go work is because he is on the defensive about money. And if you work, then, okay, you want this, you want that, you want that. The pain of saying no to you is so great that now he says he wants you to work so he doesn't have to say no to you as often. So you're digging she doesn't want to work. You're digging your own, I don't want to say digging your own grave, but you know what I mean? Like you're shooting yourself in the foot. That's a better expression. Everyone's so quiet today. Is this too stressful?
No.
Am I being like totally stressful? Be honest
it's
with me.
like it's a hard topic. It's hard.
topic.
It's a hard topic.
Are these helpful, the points?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's helpful if you could do
okay?
it.
You're doing it. You're just like, this is too big.
It's helpful if you could do it, like
helpful
not
if you-
ask for anything, not complain about money.
Right, okay, I
Well,
see. It's
that's
just too
called-
big of an ask.
It obviously would for sure work. It's just
It for sure
it's
works.
for
It
sure.
for sure
I'm sure
works.
all that asking and complaining is not helping for sure.
It makes
It's
him
not
feel
bringing in the
little.
blessing.
It
for
makes
sure.
him feel belittled. When
For
a
sure.
man feels little like that, when he can't provide to you, when he feels little, guess what? He goes out into the marketplace to go fight to get more money and to go into sales and to sell more houses or whatever he's doing, and he's littler because his wife isn't satisfied. So he's going out to work, and now you've shot yourself in the foot because you've got less of a powerhouse going out to do powerhouse stuff. It's very clear. And the good news, the scary news, the bad news, the stressful news is scary and stressful, except that there is a solution. And the solution takes work, but it's to not complain.
I can interrupt a second. What about asking for situations where you don't really have too much of a choice? Meaning it's not you're asking for yourself, but let's say to send your kids to camp. And you really, for the kids to be home for the summer is not an option. It really isn't.
In terms of wife being miserable.
No, in terms of the kids being miserable, in terms of a kid can't be home doing nothing all day long. It's bad for the child. It's just
certain families and whatever. It's true. I mean, a lot of people don't send. So it's for those of you who don't
send,
send, don't think,
for
oh,
those
there's something
who
wrong
make
with
it
you.
work and do
Some
mommy
people,
camps
yeah,
or whatever.
mommy
I'm
camp.
saying, but for a lot
Right,
of them,
a lot
when
of
all
people-
their kids are gone, when all their friends are gone, and it's only them, and they want to go, and
Right, and there's nothing to do and no one to do
right.
it with. Thank you. Gotcha.
And you almost
okay.
have to ask.
So let me quickly go through my list and then I'll cover it. If I forget, don't make sure.
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sure okay.
I'll remind you.
Okay. Basically, don't put him in a position that he has to say no. It makes him feel horrible. It stops bracha and parnasa from coming into your home. When he has to say no to you, it stops bracha and it stops the money. Okay, we have our sources from last week. The more you belittle him by being dissatisfied and making him feel like he's not a good provider, the less money will come into your home. The more content you are with every little thing he gives you, everything, from the smallest to the biggest to the medium to the whatever. The more you are content with that and show you are content with that, the more God will shower you with blessing in every way, parnasa being first. The tap will gush water only when you are not trying to scrape out every drop of water. Okay, if you're happy with whatever comes out of the tap, whatever comes, fine. I'm happy. I'll make it work. I'll make it work. Then it'll start to gush.
Is it one-sided? Like if you're gonna work on yourself and be happy, and if your spouse does not feel that way,
You mean, in other words, if he wants more things and stuff?
yeah, he's not.
Then you say, what do we
he's-
need it for? He says, our barbecue is old and rusty and whatever, and I want a new barbecue. I'm using, look, a lot of people are struggling for dollars. We're not like the housewives of Hancock Park, whatever. But let's say that barbecue is rusty. What am I? I want a new barbecue. I'm like, what do we need it for? I've got a good brush. I'll try and work on it sometime in the next 2 weeks. Or I'll have one of the kids work on it. So you
But it's not
need
for
less.
things. It's meaning just in general.
Great nail color. Whoa, pink. What? Say.
They're, I know.
Sorry,
Then
I
he
love
picked
it.
it
I
in.
love it. Yeah, sorry. Who picked it up?
My son.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love it.
7
Okay, I'm sorry. So go ahead.
It's too bright. Okay, no, just in general, they're not asking for things, but they want to be in a better matzav. They want to be in a better situation financially.
Right.
So,
And if you're happy with whatever they're giving you, they're going to be even more motivated. They're going to be. It's if you're happy, they're like, wow, how much more can I pour in them? It's totally motivating. You will see this. We have to go home this week and try it, and you'll see it's totally motivating to our husbands when we are satisfied with what they give us. They're like, wow, I want to do that again. Like, this is fun. This is awesome.
my question is the bracha contingent on just you being satisfied and happy?
Correct,
It
because
has
we know
nothing
from
to
Rav
do with
Moshe
the
Cordovero,
spouse
right?
being satisfied or happy.
Exactly. Leave them out of the picture. The bracha, Rav Moshe Cordovero gives over. All bracha comes from Shemaim through the husband and to the wife. So if we're receiving that blessing and we're satisfied, more blessing comes in. That's the formula. No shade of gray. That's the exact formula. It's a 3,000-year-old track record of success. Okay, this is awesome. This will really work. You guys are going to be lucky. You cannot know what to do with all the money you're going to get from this. Okay. Amen. Okay. Choose what to add. Hold on a second. I just want to make sure I cover all these little details. So the more content you are with every little thing he provides, the more you will be showered with. What do I do if I really need something? Summer camp. Choose what to ask for wisely and spend days figuring out how to broach the subject with your husband without belittling him. So if you need camp, don't just say, hey, the kids need camp. What are we going to do about that? Right? That would really be inspiring, right? Inspire him to want to help. So what you do is you think about it. You don't blurt it out. You think of it on a Monday. Oh, my gosh, this camp everyone's signing up for camp. I got the camp application. What are we going to do? If I bring it up tonight, he's had such a rough weekend. I know Wednesday we're going to be driving in the car to the thing. The wedding's an hour away. Maybe that's a good time. Oh, you know what? I'm going to bring his pistachio nuts in the car so he can eat a little bit because by the time we get to the wedding, it might be 3 hours. I bring the pistachio nuts. I'll bring his little iced coffee with the rest of hers because it looks so delicious. Whatever it is. And you think about, how am I going to say it? Am I going to say, we should send the kids to camp? That probably wouldn't work. Oh, I know. I will say, you know what? The summer's coming up. I got the application to camp. What do you think we should do? Do you think we should? I could try mommy camp for a week, but I'm probably going to be miserable making you miserable. Wink, wink, wink. What do you think we should do? Should we, maybe one of them can work in a backyard camp, and I can try to get them a job. He's 14 now. Maybe instead of going to camp, he can work in a camp. But I don't think he'd be happy with that. What do you think? You think about, you plan it out. You have to write it down. If you have to write it down in your journal, whatever it is, but you think very carefully, because every time, remember this, every time your husband says no to you, his self-esteem is brought down a notch. For little things, big things, all things. It's just the way it is. And understanding that formula will help you, couch it properly. Okay, you do not need to get permission from your husband for every expenditure. That's not what we're saying here. But for items that you do discuss with your husband, bigger items, bigger ticket items, non-budgetary things that aren't already on, like buying milk, you don't need to do this. Okay, you can say, oh, we need milk, whatever. Whatever, however you get the milk in your house is your business. Okay. Thinking about it first is how it needs to be handled. So a student said, every once in a while, my husband, oh yeah, I covered that about working. Okay, good. Okay, I covered that. Okay. So the number one was never complain about money ever. Number 2, yeah, yikes. I always do this. You know, we need a big clock back there because I never know until like I look at my watch, and then I feel really bad. I'm on camera looking at my watch like, you know, and then while you're talking, I looked at my watch, and afterwards I'm thinking, oh, I feel so bad for her. I'm so mean, but I have to, anyway, okay. Sorry, logistic issue here. Okay, so number 2, be totally, this is hard. This is hard. What I'm about to say is hard, okay? But I'm telling you, this is we have sources for these 3 items. Number 1 is don't complain about money ever. Number 2 is be totally dependable as you can for everything that you do in your house. So if you're, whatever directive your husband gives you, do it. Please, you know, pick up the cleaners. I just picked up the cleaners last week. You know, whatever your knee-jerk reaction, nobody likes to be told what to do. Nobody. So when you are told what to do, what's the first reaction? You'll see. We'll see about that, right? Nobody. And then what is he? Your boss? Like, isn't this an equal partnership? Like, what's he? He's like my. Now he's. I shouldn't. The men are gonna like take advantage of this. So don't block your ears for a few minutes, guys. Okay, but I'm just telling you, when a man gives his wife something to do and she does it, he feels like a man. He feels like he's a king in his castle. And when he doesn't get it done, when you don't get it done, he feels like pathetic. Like, I can't even, you know, no wonder I'm failing at work. I can't even have my wife, you know, do one thing for me. I can't even control my own home. Now, this is taking away. There are control freaks in this world, okay? If your husband is one of those, we got to talk, or you send me an email or whatever, or go see somebody. I'm not a therapist or psychiatrist or psychologist, and whatever, this is for entertainment purposes only, or whatever, whatever I'm supposed to say, the legal, whatever. So I'm not a therapist, but you do need a therapist if you have this kind of controlling of he's telling you to do everything. But barring that situation, when your husband asks you to do something, and usually you can guarantee he is going to ask you while you're in the middle of 14 other things. You're going to be doing the dishes, and you remember, oh, so-and-so needs this for their lunch, and that needs to happen, that needs to happen. And that's when he comes in, okay, and says, oh, by the way, can you... Okay, we're good in sound effects today. But whatever he's saying, whatever he's telling you that you have to do, right, it's always when you're doing 47,000 other different things. Be prepared. Know that. Know that in advance, that it's just not going to be convenient timing. And recognize, if you can be, Chazal say, that your dependability gives him the strength to bring more money into the house. Working on something about being dependable when there's no payoff is very hard. It's probably a good thing to do. Very, very hard. Working on something like this, knowing that cash is you're going to suddenly look at your bank account and it's going to have more zeros by it, or at least $1 more, whatever, who knows, whatever it is, knowing that should be motivation enough to you. So when he gives you a directive, when he says, can you bring my car in tomorrow? And you're like, I had a whole day planned tomorrow. No, I'm going to Uber here. What am I going to do? Like whatever. And he asks you that, right? You knowing, oh, hold on. This is the time when this is bringing money into our house, like, oh, wow. When that happens, right? Knowing that will give you the strength to do what he says. I have to just tell these quick. I don't have time for a little side thing. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So, but what happened? We went to this thing, right? We're at a restaurant, and one of the kids spilled grape juice all over the floor, and it went. It didn't just like spill; it like went under, and it was disgusting. It was like a hole. It just had been poured. Okay, grape juice everywhere, and the lady was across the room, and she, whatever. And I said, I'm so sorry. I said, we just spilled grape juice, and it went under, and it's sticky, and it's disgusting, and whatever. I'm really sorry. And she said, job security. I'm like, I want this lady. I'm hiring this lady. Like, I'm flying you. We were out of town. I'm flying you. Job security. That was her response. Like, if I didn't drop that grape juice, if we didn't, it wasn't me. It was somebody else. Well, I'm still mad at. No, only joking. But her response is that this is job security. What we did gives her life, right? Was so motivating for her. I want to be like her. I just think that's awesome. But what I'm saying here, when your husband asks you to do something, instead of thinking, think job security. Like, oh my gosh, he's asked me for this thing. All I have to do is do it, and Chazal say more money will come into my house. Whoa. Motivating. Okay, number 3. Also sourced in Chazal. The most powerful way to bring money into your home is praying for it. Now, I will say, praying for it and saying, dear God, please bring more money into our house. So that should be added to everybody's list by your whatever, wherever you pray. If you don't pray, maybe start, and that praying for it. But there's another aspect to it. I also have a source. I was going to call these 3 and 4, but 3 is easy to remember. We have another source, actually many, many sources, that working on shalom bayis, working on your marriage, working on peace in your home, brings money. Now, go back, listen to last week's class. I say the source in there. I read the whole thing. It's one of my favorite sources ever. I read it last week. I've read it a couple of times, but I'm probably going to read it a few times more because it needs to be drilled into our head. If you work on parnasa, the source went like this. If you work on shalom bayis, peace in your home, being nicer to your husband, trying to bring him in, trying to get closer to him, all the tools that we're learning here, if you do that, more money will flow into your house. There's it's unequivocal. There were so many sources. Fine. Okay. Woo, we got through the topic for the day. Okay, let's couple of things. One thing, before I get to the wrap up. Next week, for the next month, this summer, welcome to summer, guys. Are we hot enough? What did we have? 112, 100, who had, what did you have? 119, 117? We had very hot summer.
Yeah,
okay.
hot.
We are doing a series. We are going to the other side of town, and we have got a very wonderful facility. Adas Torah has opened up their home to us. They're hosting us. We're going to do a class there. Please, it's a little bit of a drive. It's like maybe 11 minutes more, okay? Is it worth it? Let's hope. So 11 minutes more. You come there, everybody, and we're going to get people from that side of town to also join us or whatever. It's going to be meeting the class. All the guys are coming, the cameras, the tripods, everything's going to look the same, different location. A little bit of doing
A change.
a hiatus, a little bit of a change. We're not coming back. So hello, okay. Don't even get yourself hopes up. No, she loves hosting it. She's such an amazing meal. Field trip. There we go. We're doing a field trip. So number 1, we want everybody here. Number 2, if we can't, do whatever you can to spread the word so that we get a big turnout and a lot of people there and a lot of it's next Wednesday, exact same
It's the
time,
next
11
4
a.m.
Wednesdays.
11 a.m. The next, no, it's
July
5
4th.
Wednesdays. One's
5?
missing. The 8th of August is missing. Whatever.
fine.
We'll send out a gorgeous flyer that we put together, and everybody will get that. And please send it out and help us to rustle up interest and excitement and whatever. Okay, so that's next week. And thank you very much. And you should have a beautiful summer. She's gone for a month. We're really going to miss her. It's going to be horrible. Horrible. And Sarit also. But anyway, she's going to be on teleconference. Okay, let's go. Leah's secret of the day, the main issue is that our job is to bring comfort to our husband. We learned ways today how to do that. The homework for the week. Ready? Between now and next week, give your husband one compliment from the heart. Okay? One compliment from the heart between now. If you want to do more, extra credit, go for it. This is the Ladies Talk Show. Your host, Leah Richheimer. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
Be well.
you.
Yay,